Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to manage assets in Trenity. As you can see, we are logged into Trenity already, and we're just going to navigate to the asset model. And now the asset model is divided into two components. We've got the asset manager and the data catalog, and I'm going to be running through both of them in this demo. So we're in Trenity now, and we're going to just go into an asset just to get an overview of what the asset model is all about and the asset manager as well. So we're in an asset right now, and you can see here, this is just the overview of the asset. It's got the title, the ID, date created, things like that. So you can just get a good feel, information about the asset that you're working on. And if you go down, this particular tab, you're going to see the description of the asset. You're going to see the tags, and I'm going to do a demo about the tags because we worked really hard on the tags. These are both conditional and regular tags, and I'll show you how that works. So you can tag your assets, with different tags. We've got scope tags and we've got regular tags. You can also see the related asset tab here, where you can see how assets relate to one another. And so we've got some really cool stuff going on here. So you can see how this asset relates to other assets. As you can see from this particular demo, these asset hospital episode statistics has part of mortality rate, blah 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 there, and you can see all the relationship that is got with other assets, and you can see the owners of those assets. So if you're requesting access to this asset, it gives you good information of what other assets you might want to request for as well. We've also got the discussion pane here, and you can see the asset details, you can see the owner of the asset, and you can see the stewards for the particular asset, so that you can you know who to contact if you need more information about the asset. The next tab we're going to go to is the files tab, and this is where your data is going to be stored. So we have two ways of storing data in Trenity. You can either upload the data into the asset folder, or you can connect existing data in existing storages to this particular asset. So say you've got your data in S3 storage, or you've got your data in a blob storage, and we're going to add more storages in the future. But for now, we've got both Azure blob storage and S3 storage. So if you don't want to upload your data into Trenity, you can just connect your data folders wherever they're located to this particular asset. And this helps a lot of people who have different strategies, different storage strategies. So people who are using things like, hot or cold storages, you can connect all those storages to one point in Trenity, and when the user comes in here, they're going to see all the data files. So that's for file, and I'm going to go into more details in a different demo when I'm talking about remote storage attach. So the next tab is the projects tab. This is where you're going to see all the projects that have access to this asset. So in Trenity, the way we grant access to assets is through a project. So we do not grant individual access to assets. You have to belong to a project, and then that project is granted access to the asset or to the data. So that's where you're going to see all the projects that have access to this asset are going to be listed here, and you can see the project leads and the dates that they were connected to the asset. The next tab is the asset access tab, and this is where you're going to see all the users who have access to this project. So all these users who have access to the project via their different projects, right? So when you come here, you're going to see the owner of the asset, you're going to see the stewards of the asset, and here, right here, are all the users that have got access to that asset, and it's going to show you the projects that are giving them access to the asset. So for instance, if you take Emmy, for instance, she gets access to this asset through these two projects. So because she's involved in these two projects, she has access to the asset, to the data. I think I'm just going to use data moving forward, because access and asset is a little bit tongue twisting. So yes, you can see all the users who've got access to the data, and you can see the projects that are giving them access to this data. So that's for the access tab. And then the discussion tab is very straightforward. This is where you can have discussion about the assets. You can, ask the stewards or the owner questions about the asset, and, they'll be able to respond to you on the discussion tab. Then we've got the update tab. This is where the stewards or the owner can provide updates about the asset. Say, a new asset has been added, or something has been done, a transformation has been done to this particular data. The stewards or the owner will be able to put that update right here. And the last tab is activity. This is where you're going to see everything that has been done to this asset over time. Who has touched what, who has made amends to the asset is going to be listed here, so you have a good audit trail for this asset. And so that's really basically the asset tab in general. This is how you can manage your data in Trenity, in your trusted research environment. So I'm going to go to the tags now. I want to talk about the tags. So here you can come in here and add various tags to your asset. And the way we do it is we have things called scope tags, which are dynamic tags that you can add conditions to. So say you're the admin or the data manager for this organization, and you want every asset that is added to your to Trenity to have certain metadata on them, so that you don't have you want them to be searchable. You can put conditions through the scope tags to make sure that every asset has certain metadata. I'm going to show you a quick example. Say if, in this particular case, I have a condition on classification. So every asset, every data or asset has to have a classification. So if I take off this classification, you're going to see here, it's going to say there must be a classification tag. And right here, we can see all the classification tags that are available. If I just click classification, so I have to pick one of these tags to add to this particular data or asset. And so we have different, conditions. So some you can put a condition where a user has to pick one, or they can pick multiple, different conditions. These just help you maintain, metadata across your assets or your data. And you can see we've got another tag here, says publisher, and it just gives you a good description of what is going on, what this tag is all about. A lot of times when you see tags on an asset or a data, you have to go to the data dictionary or somewhere to find out what that tag is all about. But here you have that description right here. You can see retention is equal to 180 days. People get a good understanding for what the tags are all about right from the view. So I'm just going to go to the second component in the assets model, which is the catalog. So the catalog basically is just a read-only version of the asset manager. So everything you do in the asset manager shows up in the catalog, but the catalog is really for people who do not have access to that asset or data. So if you go into the asset manager, for instance, you can see that everything you can see in the asset manager, you can see all these tabs. That is because I have got access to this data or to this asset. But in the data catalog is where it's a read-only version. So if I go into the data catalog, I wouldn't see all the tabs that I saw in the asset manager. So this one is a read-only. So this is where users who are just browsing through the available data in your TRE can come to. They can see what is available, and based on that information, they can make access request for that data using the ticketing system that is built into Trenity. So you can, if you browse through the data catalog and you find the data that you need access to, you can easily come to the ticket section, and then you create a data access request for that particular data that you want, and then it will go to the steward or to the owner, and then they can grant you access to that asset or data. So that's the data access manager and data catalog in a nutshell. There are so many other things you can do in them, but I just thought I'd give you that overview. We also have the active and the archive session, and you can see your restricted versus your open data sets and things like that. And you also can show different views and see what is going on with the assets. So I'm going to do another demo about various models, so look out for those ones. Thank you. If you have any question, please feel free to send us an email, michael@trinity.co.uk, and I'll respond as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Bye.